I'm very afraid. I'm obsessed with it. Yay. I fear I'm gonna binge this series, guys. Anything with a romance I'll read. The word lass actually makes me want to peel my skin off my body. I'm not gonna lie, it gives me the ick and makes me cringe so badly. I have theories on how I think this book could end, and I'm afraid. This is fun. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing another reading vlog. Obviously from the title, I feel like I've not done proper reading vlogs like this in a while. I used to do a lot of like reading vlog challenges and themed reading vlogs, so we're getting back to it. We are doing it. We have a few coming up. Today I'm going to be reading indie books. I read a lot of independently published or self-published books from authors who are publishing them books themselves, who aren't with a traditional publisher or are with a small indie print, and I think that just comes with the genres of books I'm reading. I think it's really common for a lot of fantasy romance and fantasy books to be indie published or self-published, and we have seen a lot of indie published books go viral this last year and be picked up for trad publishing quite quickly. Like we had Quicksilver was self-published and then was picked up very quickly. Metal Slinger, Diarybound has been picked up. Some of my favorite reads, and I have so many books that I want to read lately, and a lot of them are indie published or self-published. So I thought, let's do an entire video where we're just reading indie books together. And I also want to venture out into some new genres because I have recently read a couple indie published or self-published romance books. I read the Mendel Hawkes series by Deanna Gray and I loved that. Only 2 books are out so far. We're getting a third that I'm very excited for. I also read a debut book by Anna Harrison, Fighting Spirit, and I really enjoyed that. So I do have an indie romance book on my radar. I do have some fantasy romance books. We've got some series that I'm in the middle of reading. It's going to be a mood reading vlog. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be reading at the moment of filming, but obviously by the time this video is up, we know what we're reading. So get yourself a drink, grab a snack, get locked in because we are about to do some reading. So what is the first book that we're going to be reading? Let's start this video with book number 1. Are we ready to read a new book? Today we are obviously reading indie self-published books, and the first book that I'm picking up is actually a contemporary romance. It's one I'm very excited for. It's one that I'm wanting to read before I go to Rare London because the author is going to be there. So I've had this one on the back of my mind to pick up for a while, and I'm craving a bit of a palate cleanser read to start off this video. So we will be reading Face Off, first book in the DC Star series by Chelsea Curto. Now, the main character in this book has my name. Well, I think she's called Emerson, but Emmy. I'm Emmy. It's me. It's gonna be so hard to not just insert myself in this story, but the blurb for this book says Emerson Hartwell has waited for a spot on an NHL roster since she became a professional hockey player, and this season she'll finally get a chance to showcase her talents with the struggling DC Stars. Maverick Miller is the best player in the league, but he's never had a winning record. Team captain and desperate to turn things around, he agrees to play nice with the fiery new left winger even though they are total opposites. Oh, they're on the same team. I like this. I also like that she's a hockey player too. Like, that's fun. After a night where the tension between them reaches a tipping point and they fall in bed together, Emmy and Maverick vow it was only one time. Oh, it's never just one time. Just wants to get out their system so they can play better and help their team. It doesn't mean anything. She doesn't date hockey players. He's a notorious playboy who doesn't date, period. Except what should have been just once happens again, then again. They tell each other their friends with benefits arrangement is only for the season, but despite facing off on the ice behind closed doors, the pair is nothing but fire. Oh, I'm so excited for this one now. I had just seen how pretty the cover was. It's over 400 pages long, by the way. I just seen how pretty the cover was, and all the books in the series have this beautiful, like, colored illustrations. So I think we've got like a green book and a pink book, and it's dual point of view. I'm excited. Everyone who's also read this book has rated it like a 4 stars and up, so I'm super excited for this. I think the one thing with me is fantasy and fantasy romance is sort of like my main genre. That's my thing. That's at the core of like who I am as a reader. That's what I love. But I love romance overall. Anything with a romance I'll read. Like, it doesn't matter if it's fantasy romance, dark romance, contemporary romance, historical romance, anything with a romance I'll read. But I also love indie authors and self-published published authors, authors who write stories and put them out there. They're not confined to the same editing standards or feedback as like traditional publishers, because obviously a lot of traditional publishers will cut down and change a lot of things based off their expertise and what they know best. And sometimes indie books are better than trad published books, and sometimes trad published books are better than indie books, and vice versa. But independently published books, self-published books, you're always going to find hidden gems. You're always going to find, for me at least, my favorite reads ever, some of the best books I've ever read were mainly indie self-published books. So I don't know, there's just something about an indie self-published book that always hits. And you know what, 9 times out of 10 they're on Kindle Unlimited anyways. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I think every book I'm going to be reading this video is probably going to be on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm going to be doing a lot of Kindle reading because some of the books I have physically, some of them I don't, but we are going to go and read in bed for a bit. So I love an indie paperback. I love the soft mat. I just love an indie paperback. I just love indie books. I love indie authors. So anyways, book number 1, Face Off. We're going to read this in bed. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to read the entire book in one sitting tonight, but I'm going to sit and read as much as I can, and then we'll update you. I hopped into bed to read the book. If you can hear any snoring, it's Cooper. She's right there. But I thought, let me read for a couple hours before I go to sleep. So obviously I got comfy in bed, as I do. And the first line of this book, guys, all I'm thinking is, if one of your TBR prompts was read like the first page of a book and see whatever you want to read, or if you base your books based off like reading the first page or picking up a book, I think this wins for like the most interesting first page, but also unexpected. I'm going to read it out, so if you don't want to know what the first sentence of this book is, then skip ahead like 5 seconds. But this says, I've been around a lot of penises in my life, but the one 6 inches away from my face is the last one I ever wanted to see. I can't believe I just said that on the internet. Really setting the scene. Obviously, it's nothing spicy, right, on the first page. It's just a sports locker room. Unexpected though, but it's really setting the tone. Like, there's a lot of words on this page that I wasn't expecting to see on the first page of the book, so it's gonna be an interesting one. 9 pages in and I have looked up who book 2 is about, because I met a character and I was like, we better get their book. We do. I fear I'm gonna binge this series, guys. Also, Cammy said to me the other day, he's like, you say I fear a lot. I do. I need to stop with that. It has embedded itself into my vocabulary and I'm afraid that I can't stop. But something about sports, interconnected sports series, especially when there's like 4 books or 5 books, like Windy City series, off-campus series. I still need to read more L. Kennedy books. And now we have the DC Stars. Just hits every time. Yes, I will in fact be flying through this. I'm 14% of the way in. I love when we get like little text conversations at the start of chapters in books, and we have it in this. But the banter between the 2 characters, like this specific dynamic, I don't think I've read in like a contemporary book, or at least in a while, which is very, very fun. Also, loving the fact that we have a female main character on like a men's hockey team. Like, she's the only female player. I love it. I love this. I love the forced proximity. I love the setup. He's an interesting character because he's like a dog in many ways, but I just know he's gonna have some growth and gonna love him. But her, she's so cool. She's so athletic and passionate and determined and strong, and she's a fiery redhead, of course, and we have the same name. So in my head I'm like, I'm her. Yeah. So I am 51% of the way through the book. We read 50% of it. I'm gonna finish it tonight. I'm obsessed. This is my new favorite interconnected series. I love an interconnected series. There's just something about an interconnected series that when I read it, I just want to binge it and I want to go and read it all. And I am going to have to put this book down when I'm done to read 2 other books that I also really want to read for this vlog that are, I think, continuing series I'm in the middle of. So I know that I'll be up to date with them. And then once I'm up to date with those series, then I will 100% be coming back and binging all the books in this series, because obsessed. Like, actually obsessed. I love the characters. I love the dynamic. I love that it's different to any other sports romance book that I've read. I love how she's a hockey player on the same team as him. I'm just really enjoying it. I do think it's a bit more adult and spicier. It is quite lusty. There is some spice, but I'm also giggling a lot at their banter, and they're both so funny and witty and just have this back and forth where they're just giving each other shit basically, and I kind of love that because that's also my love language. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this and I can't wait to watch the rest of it unfold. So I'm going to hop into bed and continue reading this. So I finished Face Off and I loved it. I'm trying to round books down or up rather than just like give everything a quarter star. I'm trying to be very specific with my ratings in that way because otherwise everything just starts to become quarter stars. I don't know. At the moment I'm like, rate it a whole number or a half. So 4.5 stars could maybe be higher. I loved it. I think for me, this book is what I've been wanting and missing since I finished Windy City. This is my favorite type of sports romance. I loved it. It was so good. I think if you read the Windy City series and love the Windy City series and are looking for a contemporary romance that is a sports romance to binge read, and you're looking for a series that has a group of characters throughout it, read this. I am in fact going to go and start book 2 and read book 2 immediately because I have to. I enjoyed it so much that I need to sit now and read another book in this series. I'm temporarily abandoning the original TBR for this video because I need to go and read at least another book in this series. I'm gonna devour this series. So my thoughts and opinions: really enjoyed the way it was written, really enjoyed the characters' relationship and how it developed, really enjoyed that it didn't follow the typical romance formula with a third act breakup that has you like screaming at the characters because of some type of miscommunication or something. I loved how everything progressed. It felt real. This felt like it could have been reality and what would actually happen in reality. I loved it. I loved the characters. I loved how they made each other better. I'm just obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with it. Yay. So I did take a little bit of an intermission break. I went and read the second book in the DC Stars series immediately after book 1. I did do that. I did, yeah. I finished it. I finished it last night. And I decided to start the second book that we're going to be reading in this video because I did a detour and I wasn't intending to vlog that. We got off track basically is what I'm trying to say. So the second book that we're reading is City of Smoke and Brimstone by Kayla Edwards. This is the 4th book in the House of Devils series. Book 1 I love. It's on my shelves right there, all 3 of them. It is an urban fantasy. We're following our main female character Loren, who is a human who has like a hit put out on her, like bad people are after her and they kidnap her friend. She doesn't understand why. She's trying to figure out how she can help find her friend, and she ends up crossing paths with this notorious dark slayer who's like this magical bounty hunter who agrees to be her bodyguard to help her figure out what is going on, why people are after her, because she's just a human. That was book 1. We're 4 books in, so I can't even tell you what we're doing in this book, but book 3 was the first 5-star in the series for me and I loved it, like loved it. These books are long though. How long is this one? I'm a bit nervous. We're like 50 pages in and it's just under 1,000 pages long. Wow. Okay. And the way that book 3 ended was very, yeah. So lots of things. I've heard this is her most emotional, the most traumatizing book of them all so far. I'm ready to be put in all the feels and I'm going to try and tackle this 900+ page book. I won't be able to get it read in one sitting, but I'd like to get it finished tomorrow. So we're gonna lock in. I'm gonna put my noise cancelling headphones on and we're just gonna start reading. And like the other books, I'm assuming that it's going to also be in multi-character chapter point of views, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to dive straight in. I have high hopes for this one. I don't actually know what I want to read for the 3rd book in this reading vlog. We're definitely going to be mood reading that one because what I was intending to read, I don't think I'm going to be able to pick it up this week because of how long this book is, and because I also detoured with the 2nd book in the DC Stars series. But now we're going to read City of Smoke and Brimstone, House of Devils book 4. Thoughts and prayers. We are 20% of the way through. We're over 200 pages into the book. And why did it take 200 pages? I was literally sat there being like, this thing happened in book 3. Why is no one asking about it? Why is no one talking about it? The character was mentioned 3 times max in 200 pages. Finally just got to a chapter where we're getting some answers. Oh my goodness. Also those 200 pages, that 20%, I feel like I've read 50 pages. Like it is flying by, faster than any other one. I was like, whoa, we have moved quickly. If this was a romance, we'd be be 2/3 the way through, and there's a lot. I'm quite glad so far with the progression of everything and the pace that we're moving at, because obviously how book 1 ended, book 2, the entirety of book 2, and then book 3, it's nice to have this situation and dynamic going on with the characters. It's very hard for me to talk about the book non-spoilery, but also for anyone who has read it to maybe pick up what I'm putting down. But I'm just gonna sit and continue reading it. I definitely think I can get to at least like 50% today. If I can get halfway through the book, that would be wonderful. And the rate that I'm currently flying through it is so doable. We are 4 books in though. I cannot remember how many we have confirmed in this series, but I think that there's potential for even more, which I like, but inching closer to these answers that we've been building up for, the anticipation, and I'm very, very afraid at the same time, because I can see how this is going to be very sad and emotionally painful, and I'm really nervous. I love a reaffirming declaration of love. It always pulls at my heartstrings. Just when things start to get good. Should have seen it coming. So I've popped into bed. We are 304 pages in, we're 30% of the way, and I think for maybe the next 30% the book is gonna get quite repetitive with what we're doing and where we're going. I believe this is the second last book in the series so far. I think it has been confirmed that there's 5 books and there will be potentially another book, but I think it's not. I think the story ends with 5 and like 6 is some type of bonus or different timeline potentially, but I think this story wraps up in 5 books, and I think I know, well, I have theories and thoughts and predictions of where I think we're going, but I don't know how the exact specifics are gonna be. But I have a feeling that for the next few chapters slash chunk of percentage of this story, we are gonna have this ongoing thing happening, which is fine. It's fine. It's so bingeable though, so I don't really mind if it gets a little bit repetitive, and I'm hoping that it's for a specific purpose. Like there's a point of why this keeps happening and where it keeps going. I'm very happy that the storyline has kind of done this, you know, right now, and it's gonna go like that again, but I'm happy that we've gotten to where we are in this book. That's all to say. Update is that I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I am binging it. It's a 989 page fantasy book, and I have blinked and we're 30% 300 pages in. I think I'm going to blink again and we will be at 60%. It's flying by. It's dark. It's a dark adult urban fantasy, but so far it's also not like pulling my heart out of my chest. I don't feel like I've been like kicked in the teeth or punched in the gut, you know, which is great. But it does scare me because we're building up to that. I can sense the anticipation coming that I think the ending is going to be brutal, and I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid of the ending, but I'm gonna keep reading. I woke up today feeling so unwell, which means that for the rest of the day I get to just sit and read now that I've gotten my work done. We did get over 60% of the way through. We have less than 400 pages to go, and I'm going to read them all today, right now, because we're really coming to a big point in the action where everything's about to start kicking off. And I just know it's going to be really difficult at this point to put the book down, because the end of Kayla Edwards' books always are, and they're always so action jammed packed with drama, and I have theories on how I think this book could end, and I'm afraid. How many times have I said I'm afraid so far? But it's gotten really, really good. It's not been as repetitive as I was expecting it to be. We did get some bits to really drive home a very particular plot point. I do kind of want to claw Loren's eyes out at the moment. I think I just want to shake that girl, because what is she doing? But anyways, we're gonna sit and finish the book now. Roman Devlin is my favorite. You need to wait until you meet him, because I was like, I like Darian, but then I met Roman and was like, oh yeah, And it's not what you're thinking, because there are like 12 characters in this story, and it's not just like a love story. It's like a proper urban fantasy series with a plot and stuff, and there's multiple love stories with multiple different characters. So the more books you read, the more characters you're introduced to, and that's what part of why book number 3 is my favorite, because we get Roman. It's so good. So Roman right now and Shay, giggling. We're pretty much at like the 200 page mark to go. Like I said, things have definitely started to pick up. It's about to get really crazy. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Every time I just read this book, I get tunnel vision and I get transported back to the story and where we're going. And I think if you like book 1, book 2, book 3, you'll like book 4. It just gives that feeling, that vibe where you're like, yes, this is House of Devils. I think I really do love... I forgot what I was saying there. I got distracted. I am going to be sad that I have to wait for the next book in the series to come out, and also the paperback isn't available yet. I can't order it, so I'm waiting to get that to add to my shelf, because it is definitely like a favorite comfort series for me. But I remember what I was going to say. I love an urban fantasy. I think just an adult urban fantasy, or just any dark adult fantasy, especially if it's urban, I just seem to love it. I love university settings, I love big city settings. I don't know, I never thought that I would, especially because my entry into fantasy was traditional fae fantasy with no running water and electricity, and here I am like, yeah, they have guns, they have phones and social media, but I love it. I don't know why. It was a very unexpected thing to read. I think it has really ended up just loving urban fantasy. So 25% to go. Let's finish up. We've made it to the final 100 pages. We're so close. It's all happening. My heart's going pitter-patter. I'm ready. You can come join me, Cooper? You ready to read, Cooper? Are we ready to finish the book? Pages. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm stressed. Oh, I feel sick. Oh, I'm at the epilogue. We finished the book number 2 in this reading vlog. I was thinking that the plot twist, or like the ending, I thought I knew what it was going to be. I thought it would be more like predictable, and some of it did catch me off guard, so I was very happy with that. I think I'm gonna say 4.5 stars. I love this series. I do. I have a lot of questions that I hope we're gonna get answers for in the 5th book, and also there's a lot of things that I want resolved for some of these characters, and I'm scared, and I have goosebumps thinking about it, and that was really, really fun. I think if you like the series, you'll like that book. Yeah. That was a really good read. My head is honestly spinning. I kind of need to process a lot. I have so many questions. And now I'm like, I don't know what to read after. I think I'm just gonna have a scroll on my Kindle and also ask the besties what to read. Now, there is a book here that Bailey has said that I should read, and she said it was indie published, and she also said that it was under 500 pages for a fantasy romance. I think Laura also read it recently as well. And I get so many of my recommendations from my friends and from Bailey. A lot of people told me to read Diary-Bound when I asked for love triangle recommendations, but Bailey actually read it first. So when I had mentioned it, she was like, yes, absolutely read that. So she put me onto Diary-Bound. There are so many good books that Bailey puts me on, so if you aren't following Bailey and you like the type of books I read, you like fantasy romance, you like gothic, academia, dark romance, you need to go and follow Bailey. But she suggested that we read The Wolf King. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I just know that I'm going to go in completely blind. I'm not even going to bother looking at the blurb or anything. I'm just going to go into it with no expectations other than the fact that Bailey recommended it to read. So we're reading The Wolf King, a fantasy romance book. I'm probably gonna go read in bed for a bit and then we can catch up tomorrow because it's getting a bit late now, so that's the plan. Hello everyone, so it is the next evening. I'm over 30% of the way through the book and I'm really enjoying it. It's just a very typical romantasy. Like if you're in the mood for like a standard, typical, easy to read, low commitment romantasy, like I don't think this is gonna be a god tier, absolutely changing my life read, but this is a good one. I think I'd recommend. The audiobook is on BookBeat. I do have a BookBeat code. If you are based in the UK and you've not signed up to BookBeat before, let me try and find it. You can use code Emmy60 to get a 60-day trial with 40 hours of audiobook listening. Their audiobook subscription is an hourly based subscription, so instead of getting a set amount of books, you can split up your hours listening to a few chapters of one book at the other. If you're like me and you like to hybrid, listen to some and physically read the rest. And the Wolf King's on it. I also think the Wolf King, when I was doing some research this morning, I think the Wolf King audiobooks have been signed with some publishing deal, but the physical books aren't. So the physical books are still indie. I was a little bit confused on that, but I think we're all good. I think the book's still indie. There is a second book that's recently come out and it's going to be a series. I don't know how many books, but I did see on the author's Instagram that there is a love triangle in this series, and we met a character last night before I went to bed and I was like, oh, this is kind of giving Rhysand vibes. Like, this is giving, yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be the love triangle. Interesting. But I'm not saying that it's comparable to ACOTAR or anything like that. I was just like, oh, we have two very different main male characters. And I believe this was pitched as like Outlander but with wolves, and it is very Scottish. The audiobook, he's calling her lass. The word lass actually makes me want to peel my skin off my body. I'm not gonna lie, it gives me the ick and makes me cringe so badly. And I think if an American author tries to write a Scottish story, I don't enjoy it as much, but because this author is British, I'm like, that's okay. Probably gonna be a little bit more accurate. That could be super wrong of me. Maybe it's just because I live in Scotland. I'm like, if they're not Scottish or at least British, I can't do it. There's no way I could sit and listen to this entire audiobook myself, but I'm probably gonna put on a couple chapters or two so I can get unready and into pajamas, but I'm going to binge this. This is so fast to read. I'm flying through it and I need to know what happens. It's quite fun. And Bailey said they're quite short to get through. She was not wrong. But I'm having fun with it. Again, I don't think this is gonna be like an absolute god tier favorite series, but this is a really good like palette cleanser for me in between my big 900+ page book reads, which I'm doing at the moment. At the moment, currently I'm enjoying and I would recommend it and I'm excited to keep reading. But the blurb of this, or what the story's about so far, we've just had this princess. She lives in one kingdom and there are these wolf people. They shift. They're from another kingdom and there's currently a war going on and the princess gets kidnapped and she's taken by the wolves and the alpha. So I'm excited to get more into like the court politics and see what is actually going to happen and what is going on. But so far, fun times. Let's get comfy and read. It is the next morning. I read The Wolf King until I fell asleep last night, guys. We are 60% of the way through the book. I have found my new favorite romantasy. Now, it has been a while since I have started a new fantasy romance or romantasy read. I guess in my head, there's books that I consider fantasy romance and books that I consider romantasy by my own definition, and this is romantasy. Do I think that this book is going to be 6 infinity stars, god tier, obsessed? I'm going to want to run out and get tattoos for the book series. I'm going to be thinking about it non-stop like it's going to be an all-time favorite? No. But have I had this much fun reading a romantasy potentially all year? No. I have not had as much fun with any other romantasy read, I think. This is fun. This is at its core just a good typical romantasy, something with drama and tension, and we do have a love triangle in the series. It is on the author's Instagram quite obviously that this is a love triangle book. I love a love triangle. There is nothing I love more. It's one of my favorite tropes ever. I will eat up a love triangle anytime. And if you don't like love triangles, you are missing out because there are so many good ones. But this is my favorite type of love triangle too. It's just giving, I guess it is described as Outlander, but with wolves, and there are werewolves. We're talking about alphas a lot. I need to message Heather and ask if she's read this. Heather, if you're watching this and you haven't read this, I need you to message me and maybe read this. But The Wolf King, yeah, we still have a lot, like a chunk to go through, but I've heard that book 2 is even better. And I'm so excited to be able to just like sink my teeth into a new series. I do think I'm going to binge book 2 back to back because they are quite short, under 500 pages. That doesn't happen anymore. I also made myself a giant iced coffee because it is hot today and I'm gonna be sitting and editing and reading, and I need caffeine. All the glass cups I had in the house just weren't big enough, so we're using one of those like reusable cups. I'll just try to keep one of these in my bag for when I get a coffee outside, but I don't know, I'm just enjoying drinking from them at the moment. But the Wolf King, I like our main female character. I like both of the main male characters. I like the side characters and the situation they're set up. I like the forced proximity. It is moving fast, so I'm finding myself being like, oh, we're already moving like quite quickly through the story and like these things are happening. I'm so used to it being a bit slower because so many romantic books now are like 600+ pages, but I'm like, we have limited pages to work with, so it makes sense that we're moving a bit faster. It's just fun. It's just so fun. There's a lot of good tension and banter, and oh my god guys, last night when I was reading, there was one scene where the main female character was trying to think through something or like figure something out, and one of the wolves was like, come on, you can think of it. He's like, I know you know what it is, instead of, you know, the princess being spoon-fed information and told, he was like, you know what it is. Like, he was challenging her to think, and she said what she thought it was, and he said, good girl. I text Bailey, I was like, I'm jumping ship. So good. Reading is just so fun. Not everything needs to be like a super serious, in-depth world building and magic system. Sometimes you can have a giggly fun love triangle with werewolves. The Wolf King. In saying that, I do think it is a well-constructed story. I do think if you read a lot of romancy, you'll like this, but also if you haven't really read a lot of romancy, this is also a good one that I would say to pick up to get into. It gives you a good taste of what the genre is typically. I love an indie romancy. I just love an indie romancy. This is the definition of like a wonderful indie romancy to me. So we're gonna be finishing it off today. I'm so excited, but I'm also not ready, but I also am, because I'm gonna binge book 2 straight away. I love that. I love that feeling. The time has come to finish The Wolf King. We have less than 100 pages left. Guys, it's ramping up. I think I'm gonna have to dive straight into book 2 as soon as I finish, but we're at 80% of the way through. I'm nervous. All right, I've got my water. We're gonna sit on the couch and we're gonna finish our 3rd and final book of this vlog. Oh, sorry, did my excitement confuse you, Cooper? This just got extra interesting. Very intrigued. We finished the book and I'm immediately starting book 2 because the ending was really good. There were some things that I predicted that I thought that were hinted at throughout the story, so when they happened I was like, yes, I was right with that. But then some of the little reveals, I'm like, I need to see where this is going. It's so fun. The second book is also around under 500 pages as well. I think book 1 was 460 something and book 2 is 480 something. So under 500 pages, which is fabulous. I've just downloaded book 2 and I see that the prologue is in a different character's point of view. Very happy with that. Wow, that's so fun. That's actually so fun. I love fun books. I love romancy. It's just a fun time. I would definitely recommend it if you are new to the genre or you just like a good typical indie romancy vibe. Super excited about that. Very, very happy. What do I give the book though? I don't know how to rate it. It's definitely a 4-star. So I think we're going to say solid 4-star. If the series is going where I think it's going, yeah, that could increase. But for now, wow, that was so much fun. So fun. And that brings us to the end of this reading vlog. I feel like I haven't done a reading vlog in a couple weeks, so it's nice to be back. I have some really fun reading vlogs coming up this next week that I'm filming, so if you aren't already subscribed, make sure that you have subscribed. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, comment below a crown emoji for our princess. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.